It's finally time to explore the available tools for scanning. There are several simple scanning tools out there that perform the basic function of pinging local or online networks to see which hosts are live. If you Google LAN, MAC, or IP scanners, you'll come up with a list of them, but by far the best scanning tool out there is Nmap, a free open source security scanner. Nmap is primarily a port scanner, but you can use it for network scanning and basic vulnerability scanning. Nmap is designed to rapidly scan large networks to determine what hosts are available on the network, what services these hosts are offering, what type of packet filters or firewalls are in use, and dozens of other network details. The magic with a really good port scanner is that it knows how to ask a question of the target system and then interpret the response for you. For example, Nmap is really good at OS fingerprinting, which is determining what operating system and even OS version is running. Nmap analyzes port scan results and looks for clues that match up with its internal OS database. Then it returns a list of OS version possibilities, including a confidence ranking for each. Nmap can also be used as a basic vulnerability scanner because of the Nmap scripting engine, or NSE, which comes with hundreds of scripts that help gather even more information from target hosts. And there's more scripts available for download on the internet that Nmap users have written for all kinds of special cases. You can use Nmap via the command line interface, where there's a graphical UI called ZenMap, which is also free and open source. ZenMap is great for beginner users of Nmap. It also helps streamline the groups of commands you intend to use on a regular basis. You can save frequently used scans as profiles to make them easy to run repeatedly. You can also save scan results and compare them with one another to see how they differ. And the results of recent scans are nicely stored in a searchable database. Sounds pretty amazing, right? A great tool to use alongside Nmap is hping3, which I mentioned when we learned about pinging in the last lesson. While basic pinging can only send ICMP echo requests, hping allows for the creation of customized packets. This enables more versatile scanning strategies, as different packets will elicit different responses from the target system, giving us, again, clues to what OS is running, ports, and services. hping3 supports TCP. Remember the three-way handshake? TCP requires a three-way handshake. UDP, which does not. Streaming data, it's just like a hose that's turned on. And the other two are ICMP and raw IP protocols. Oh, and it has a traceroute mode too. While most basic pings are easily blocked by firewalls or IDS systems, hping3 can test various firewall and IDS evasion techniques. hping3 can perform network or port scans and is a great complement to Nmap's capabilities. I'll show you the ins and outs of Nmap and hping3 in the next video, and you can experiment with it in your test lab environment. Yeah, please only test it in your test lab environment. A more robust vulnerability scanner is Rapid7's Nexpose. Recall that vulnerability scans look for a specific set of weaknesses on a network or system. Another important tool to know is Wireshark, which is a very widely used packet sniffer. Sniffers are utilities that ethical hackers, or just network engineers, systems analysts, lots of people use Wireshark. And you can use that to monitor and potentially modify, but usually it's just monitor traffic that's moving across a network. Passive sniffing is when you just capture and read packets moving over the network. Essentially, you're just listening. Active sniffing means you are listening and also altering the traffic as it goes by. Wireshark offers a tremendous number of features designed to assist in the dissection and analysis of the captured traffic. Maltego is a tool for banner grabbing, which returns information about services running on a system. Information that the banner reveals can be varied, but in the case of HTTP, which is web, it can include the type of server software, version number, when it was modified last. Maltego not only retrieves this information, but visualizes the relationships between each item. Both packet sniffing and banner grabbing can provide vital information as part of the scanning phase. Another thing that you might have heard about in movies even helps protect anonymity during a pen test, and those are called proxies. A proxy server is between the hacker and the target, so that when the target's network admin checks their logs, they see the proxy's IP instead of the actual info of the attacker. proxies based in the United States can have their records subpoenaed, potentially revealing the original attacker. So you should use proxies based outside of the US, since that's what malicious hackers will most likely do. All right, so let's quickly review the tools we covered in this lesson. LAN MAC IP scanners. Our favorite is Nmap. ZenMap the UI. These help us figure out whether a network or a system is online. A complementary tool to Nmap is HPing3, which enables the creation of custom packets for sending to your target and interprets the responses very, very well to tell you more about the network. Nexpose is a vulnerability scanner. Nescafe is a coffee, and it is delicious. Wireshark is a packet sniffer for capturing and reading traffic as it moves across the network. Maltico is for banner grabbing, which returns information about services running on a system. And proxies are servers that act as a stand-in between or an insulation barrier for the attacker. In the next video, I'll demo using some of these tools, and you'll get to try them out yourself in your test lab environment.